wanted to address a couple topics real quick. Not gonna be real long, but I got something that I want to talk about. Uh, and I started off wanting to talk about the domestic terrorism that's going on. Yesterday there was two mass shootings. I'll probably come back later on today or tomorrow and talk about that. But today I want to talk about the black podcasts, black platforms, black vlogs. Um, I want to talk about. That's what I want to talk about today. Sonic Boom TV, what it do, homie? Um, I want to get into that for a second, and I'm also going to touch on Young Thug, that black crusty, musty motherfucker. We gonna talk about it. We gonna kick his back in briefly, real quick. Ain't gonna be long on it. You dig? And part of my language, man. I don't want to be cussing like that on here, man. But you know. Anyway, you see the title, man. Black podcasts, black platforms are not reading the room. Okay. I don't know what it is, and I understand that everybody wants to appeal to their base, their audience. I understand a lot of people don't want to come across heavy hearted or people don't want to come across too serious. I get that, right? But these platforms aren't reading the room. At times like this, right? In times where you got Nazis walking the street talking about fight back, white man, fight back. When you see these things and then you go on to these black podcasts and platforms, these niggas ain't talking about shit. Like, like let me be more specific. Right now, the media is pushing for a war, okay? Most likely a race war. They're framing it as civil war. But if you're paying attention, the black fatigue, okay, the the constant need to debate black people or to focus on black folks, the demonization of black folks. There's a push to demonize us. There is a lot of anger going on amongst the MAGA crowd, et cetera, et cetera. There's domestic terrorism going on every day. They running in churches. They doing all kind of crazy shit, right? They got podcasts popping up every day with some Caucasian man talking about us, talking about our behavior, talking about what we're doing. I'm looking around. I'm trying to find the black podcasts that are actually addressing these things, these issues. You understand? I'm looking for. I'm seeing. I seen a goddamn. I clicked on a podcast the other day, Big Mouth Media, and shout out to them. Whatever. These niggas was talking about who is the. What's the difference between a plug and a connect? What's the difference between a plug and a connect? Like, nigga, that's what y'all. That's what's on y'all mind. That's what's on y'all mind. What's the difference between a plug and a connect? Like, what the fuck are we talking about? Why? I'm trying to figure out why aren't these black podcasts and platforms educating? Dedicate one episode, just one episode. Dedicate one episode to real shit, real things that are going on. You dig? Dedicate one episode to educating the youth on what's happening out here and what they need to be doing and what they need to be looking out for. These niggas is on here talking about nothing. A whole bunch of nothing. And I say this in love, right? It may come across like an asshole, but I say this with love, man. But it needs to be said. I don't see nobody talking about this shit. Nobody gives a fuck. Like, everybody's worried about being cool. Everybody's worried about being accessible and digestible and playing this game. At some point, man, in order to combat what's going on, because niggas don't even see what's going on right now. They don't even see that there is a propaganda campaign against us, against your sons, against your nephews, against your mother and father and your grandma and them. Like, there's a propaganda campaign. Let me get Lady Boy LaTroy up out of here. I want to ask, do niggas even know what's going on out here? Do y'all even see? Do y'all even see what's going on out here? We're talking about the dumbest shit, and I get it. I'm 44 years old, right? So my head space is somewhere a little different. But what are niggas waiting for? Are they waiting for the shit to pop off? Are they waiting for the shit to pop off and then talk about it? Because it's gonna be too late then. You know, what I would like to see is, I would like to see some of these urban black podcasts speaking to some of the topics that are floating around. You know what I'm saying? Some of the topics that are floating around is these MAGA people running down on people trying to debate, right? Some of the things that's going on is addressing these claims that we're the most violent, black people are just the most savage people and we're fucking up the country. I would like to see some of these podcasts at least touch on this shit one time. You dig? I want to see some of these podcasts speaking about how important it is to train, right? How important it is for us, those of us that qualify to get gun licenses, to be in that gym. Because I'm not gonna hold you. Listen. My problem with the Charlie Kirks and everybody else, my problem with them is not 100% the content. We don't want to hear them talk about that shit because we know they don't care. We know they're coming from a place of bad faith. They're not talking about these issues because they care about black people. I've done several videos on things that I noticed, things that I would like to see corrected, things that I would like to see get better. You know what I'm saying? And the reality is, they are deflecting to what we're doing. They're deflecting to black people to take the heat off of what's really going on with these domestic terrorists, what's really going on in white supremacy land. You dig? And it seems to be a setup of some sort. You understand? And I'm just looking around and I'm not seeing none of these important platforms, man, is talking about jack shit. And man, I'm like, man, what are y'all even aware? You dig? Nazis walking down the street in your goddamn neighborhood. Y'all not gonna tell the little homies to what to do when you see these people? Y'all not gonna galvanize? Y'all not gonna, and look, you don't have to put the plans out there. You don't have to put the business out there and be specific about what to do, but at least have a conversation, at least acknowledge what the fuck is going on. Niggas on there talking about, I seen a podcast, they talking about what's the difference between a plug and a plug and some shit about selling drugs. Like, nigga, what are you talking about selling drugs right now for? You proving these motherfuckers right. Nigga, you proving them right. It's time to further the culture, man. It's time to it's time to talk about some different shit, man. You know what I'm saying? It's time to talk about something productive. Listen, what they're doing right now is they're acting like this is what they're doing. This is what the Charlie Kirks and all these fucking wannabe Christians, this is what they're doing right now. They're acting like they are the moral authority. They're acting like they have the monopoly on what's moral and what's right. This is what they're doing. They're disguising it under the guise of, oh, well, we're about family, we're about raising children, we're about doing the right things, and it's all bullshit. You need to act like us or else you're bad. You need to act like us, okay? We don't want you to be loud. Don't be loud in public. Shh, be like us. This is what's going on right now. Since when did we all have to act like white folks? And I'm not saying that I don't like to be loud when I go out. I'm a very quiet person. I don't like to cause a scene or none of that. But when the fuck did we had to act like white folks? This is America. You act like you, we act like us. This is what makes us us. This is what makes America what it is. Okay. Uh, so what they trying to do is they acting like Charlie Kirk was just this moral authority, right? Who had the golden key to how to act and how to get through life and how to raise a family and these morals and standards and all this great fine shit. Cool. The message is cool. Okay, the message is cool. Where it goes wrong is when you throw in the demonization of black people. I saw a clip where Charlie Kirk said, well, race is a social construct. But then why the fuck are you talking about race all the time? Why are black people's name in your mouth all the time? If race is just a construct, you would not be compartmentalizing. You would not be compartmentalizing black folks and white folks and whoever else. Let me get to this comment, man. Shout out to Newport. Shout out for the super chat. My man said, ain't no African or Hispanic immigrant gonna shoot a church or assassinate a politician. White Americans doing the most of the crimes right now. I'm gonna speak for foundational black Americans. Yeah, we don't run in the churches. Shout out for the super chat, homie. We don't run in the churches. We don't walk into movie theaters and kill people that we don't know. We don't do all this random stuff. Yesterday it was two mass shootings. Okay, one at a church and one at a bar, I believe, and one in North Carolina and one in Michigan. We don't do these things. And Charlie Kirk's his job was to deflect from what they're doing, okay, and make us look like we're the bad ones. But he never talked about what's going on in his own community, and he ended up being unalived by somebody in his community. Let me get to these comments, man. Let me see what everybody talking about. Dr. Naka said they're using him as a martyr. Yes, yes, and I believe it was planned. I believe Miss Erica Kirk was in on it. All right, this is what I believe. I don't care who gets mad at it. If your eyes are open, you see the same thing. Okay. I didn't even want to go here today. I didn't even want to talk about Charlie Kirk. I'm addressing my people today, but since we here, we here. And I'm gonna get back to the original topic. But I believe this was a plan. This was planned out, and I believe the wife knew. I believe this was something to make him and his message to usher in a new era of white supremacy. Okay, to make his words even more powerful and more potent. They made him a martyr. They made him a martyr. They made him a martyr. You see that this whole shit is being exposed. You see how they talking about the shooter. It's not the shooter. The shooter's still running around free. They said the shooter went to Dairy Queen after. They said, I mean, it's unraveling. It doesn't add up. You did. Y'all hit the like button for me, man, if you like the content. Dr. Naka said, our crimes are out of poverty. Yeah, and the thing is, bro, I tried to explain to these people, but they already know. They know why things go on in certain neighborhoods. They know why there's killings going on. They know that all of this shit leads back to white supremacy. It all leads back to what went on in our past as a broken people. We were designed to fail. They know that shit. They know we weren't. They know it wasn't designed for us to win. They know it wasn't designed for us to be on equal footing. We fought for equal rights. Our ancestors fought for equal rights. You dig? They gave us a little something. They was like, huh, hold this. You can drink at the water fountain. You want some of that water? Go ahead, get you some. Get you some of that water. Or you want to go to our schools? Go ahead. Come on. Let's integrate. Cool. Come on. Spend that money with us. You dig? Spend that money. Cool. We do that. But there was a cap. There was a ceiling on what exactly all we can do and what we can have. I want to say this, man. A lot of people are like, where's the racism? There's no racism today. Whenever somebody says that to you, you ask them, what year did racism end? And then they were like, look at the billionaires and millionaires you have. You guys have so many millionaires. Y'all look at the boy, the boxer. What's the boxer's name? Earl Spence. Is his name Spence? Y'all got that right? The boy that got pulled over yesterday? Dr. Naka said the fact that we're still pushing scares them. Listen, all this is an attempt. It's a desperate attempt to save racism and white supremacy. These people that formulated this plan, these people that are gathering at these arenas to memorialize Charlie Kirk, they know their time is limited. They know that their reign is coming to an end. This is why this conversation is going on. The reason why they talking about black people's behavior, black fatigue, all this. The reason why they talking about this is because they know that this whole racist shit is going to be it's coming to a closure. It's about to go. And they're trying to preserve. They're trying to preserve the hate. All right? They're trying to preserve the hate. That's why they're going after the college kids, the younger generation. That's why they unalived Charlie Kirk. Because now his words, his message is going to be more important than it would have been if he was alive. If he was still alive, at some point he'd have fucked up. At some point there'd have been a scandal. At some point he'd have cheated on his wife. At some point something would have happened to where it would have discredited him. He was already discredited amongst intelligent people. Intelligent people already knew he wasn't shit. I'm gonna reference Bill Maher's interview or TV show with Charlie Kirk. I'm gonna reference this so you can see how people really looked at Charlie Kirk before he passed. Charlie Kirk was on Bill Maher's show, and Charlie Kirk was going on and on and on about these transgender mice. And he was saying it with such conviction, like this was really going on. Bill Maher had to correct him and say, hey, look here, man, this is what worries me about you, Charlie. It's not transgender mice. It's trans something else. I don't know the word. It's trans something else. He had it totally wrong. So intelligent people knew that Charlie Kirk, what he was, that it was an act, it was a show, and it was propaganda. But now that he's gone, his words are they're trying to memorialize him. They're talking about giving him money, put him on a coin. His clips are going to be way more exposed. They're going to be way more views. People are going to actually look. That's like Tupac. That's like Tupac. That's like XXXTentacion. That's like King Von. Everybody gets more popping when they pass. You become a martyr. You become, like, even me, man, like, it's certain artists I listen to that I started to like after they pass. You understand? Transgenic, Jamal Youngblood. Thank you, my brother. Transgenic. Charlie Kirk was running around talking about transgender. Come on, man. And he's supposed to be a genius. He's supposed to be the smartest guy in the room. Come on, man. Let's get to some of these comments, man. Tyler Koch said, we're so racist, explain Michigan right now. You mean the mass shooting that happened out there? What do you want me to explain? It was an Army veteran. I wanted to make this another show, but we'll talk about it. In the past 24 hours, there were 2 mass shootings by 2 veterans. I think one of them served in the Marines. One guy in Michigan, I think it is, he ran his truck into a church. This is the shit that they do. This is the degenerate shit that these racists do. Okay? I don't ever want to hear y'all talk about black folks ever fucking again. Next time, I know it's a lot of y'all on here, the next time y'all fix y'all face to talk about black folks, I want y'all to go pull up the news. You never see us do weird, nasty bullshit like y'all do. Listen, you don't see us running trucks into a goddamn church, shooting people and then setting the church on fire. Don't talk to me about Memphis, Chicago, Honolulu. I don't want to hear none of that shit, dog. It's over. That's over. That day is over, man. Yeah, so I don't know what you mean about Michigan. Jonathan said, who stabbed the white girl? Who shot Charlie Kirk? Who unalived 5 police officers 2 weeks ago? Who in the last 24 hours have unalived innocent people that had nothing to do with nothing? I'm not talking about a stray in the ghetto. We're not talking about stray shots in the ghetto. We're talking about these weird ass people with racist ideology, trained by the US government, okay? Served in war, that just went out and decided to take people's lives because they've been on 4chan for too long and they're impressionable and they feel like they're losing their country and they're losing power and they're so fragile, right? They're so damn fragile and scared that they feel like they gotta ride for the cause and they killing their own. They didn't pull up in Chicago like tough guys that they say they are when they online. None of you have pulled up to Chicago. You love your country so much and you're so goddamn tough. Why haven't y'all pulled up to Chicago and addressed the people that are fucking up your country? Why? Somebody tell me, man. Total Mark said, Chicago is hell, boy. What you fitting do about it? I'm just asking a question. Y'all love your, listen, it's so many tough guys out here. Caucasian, racist MAGA tough guys that's always complaining and talking about how black folks are messing up the country, but y'all not pulling up in none of these neighborhoods to confront the people that are messing up the country. You know what you're doing? You're running trucks into church buildings and killing innocent people. Weird. Can somebody say it with me, man? Weirdos. Big time weirdos. Sean McCain said they killing they own. That's rich. Yeah, man, it's really deep. I gotta say it again. 2 weeks ago, 5 police officers were shot by a 24-year-old Caucasian man. Okay, come on, man. If Charlie Kirk was here, he wouldn't have said nothing about it. He wouldn't have said a goddamn thing about it. You dig? No, he was not black. Don't listen to these people. I got the thumbnail in my phone. I was about to post it. This post was not supposed to be about racism, okay? But we're here, you dig? Jonathan said it's not about race, it's about division. Let me tell you, man, why that's a lie. Sean said Shiloh Hendricks, yeah, she raised $1 million for calling a 5-year-old black boy the N-word. Weird. People are goddamn weird, bro. But Jonathan said it's not about race, it's about division. You know, I keep hearing people say it's not about race, it's about division. And that's the biggest lie. That's the biggest lie that people say. Because all I hear and see is people talking about how they have black fatigue. Now, I believe in my heart of hearts, I believe, okay, that the issue doesn't is not contingent on race. I believe that everybody has people who do crime in their culture. This is what I believe because this is what we're known for. We're known for equality. We're not known for blaming racists. We don't blame now. This is what we hear a lot, that we blame, we're victims and all. Yeah, we're victims. We've been victimized. That's a fact. That's a historical fact. So it's not blaming. If I tell you that my ancestors were enslaved for 400 years, that's a fact. That's not blame, okay? So he said it's not about race. The problem is the guy that you guys are memorializing, the guy that you are saying is the next Jesus, all he did was talk about race. All he did was talk about my race and other races and except his own. You dig? Don Davis said that's not crime though. Is it? That's convictions. Yeah, you can't quantify who does the most crime. Okay? To the slow people who are running around talking about blacks commit the most crime, you can't measure who commits the most crime. Do you know how many crimes are being committed right now? Your neighbor is more than likely committing a crime right now. Whether they stealing cable, whether they swiping credit cards, you can't tell. You don't know who's doing crime right now. You dig? Um, so when Charlie Kirk said that, okay, he was lying once again, and he did a lot of lying. And I'm not saying that to be mean spirited. That's just a fact. You understand? Quaj Q Japan said, "You have a baby mom." No, I don't have a baby mom. The hell, what is a baby mom? Matt Reynolds said, "Violent crime, dude. Like violent crime. Like now, let me ask you, Matt. Let me ask you a question, Matt. I'm gonna ask you a serious question. Would you like your crime, okay, to be targeted towards other criminals, or would you like your crime to be targeted towards innocent people? If you had to deal with crime in your country, would you want it to be between criminals, or would you want it to be domestic terrorism where they're walking into churches and they just offing people for no reason?" Jarvis says other criminals. You would say, I'd rather, if I had to deal with crime, which we have to, this notion that black people can't do any crime, that we have to be the perfect race is ridiculous. And this is what they try to push on us. They're trying to push this thing on us to where as though if somebody in Washington, D.C. Unalive somebody, it's black people's fault. But they turn around and a Timothy McVeigh will blow up a daycare, kill 100 plus people, and it's not white people's fault. Make that make sense. Don Davis said, "And crime is about poor, not race." Y'all hit the like button for me, man. Jamal said, "Who are most serial killers?" Yeah, we know the answer to that. We knew the answer to that. Yeah, Newport. We never blew up a daycare center. We never blew up a daycare center. You dig? We don't do little weird degenerate shit like that. That's not what we on. Jonathan said, "What is black people's fault is what you're doing right now." What am I doing right now? Be specific, sir. Ian Warren said, "Keep racism alive. Keep talking about it constantly. You're a sensitive man." Ian, let me ask you, and I'm not sensitive, just to be clear. I'm keeping racism alive because I'm talking about it. My man, are you not reading the room? Do you not know that I ain't gonna say every, but most white men right now, what's coming out of their mouth is black crime, Chicago, single mothers. This is what y'all are talking about. The only reason I'm talking about this shit is because every day I get on the internet, I see these comments: black fatigue, single mother homes, black crime, usual suspects. Y'all are talking about this shit. You dig? Charlie Kirk, this is what he got off on. It's a fetish. Y'all, it's like y'all getting off on this shit, talking about black folks. Y'all are so intrigued with black folks. Why are you so worried about black folks? Why aren't you worried about them Russians or them North Koreans? You dig? Don't turn around and don't look at the little guy. That's weak shit, to turn around and look at the little guy. Once you look at the big opponent, talk about them. Because y'all are making yourself look really ignorant and small. But we know why it's going on. We know why it's going on because this racism shit is almost over. And you're trying to preserve the racism. You're trying to preserve the talking points. You're trying to demonize black people. This is where Charlie Kirk and others come in at. They want us to be the bottom of the barrel. Myron Gaines, Jason, Adam, what's his name? Tate, Andrew Tate. All these little people that come out their mouth real slick about black people to try to make us look bad. That is for a reason. You dig? Y'all hit that like button for me, man. We have to combat this shit. That's why this video was about black podcasters. See, all you racists in here talking about I'm a victim. That's fine. But this video was about black podcasters, black platforms. We need to be having these conversations. We need to be schooling the youth, right? Or at least putting a message out there of what's going on, what we may need to do to fix it, what we should be doing. You did? Newport said, podcast about this, you'll be huge. My man, I appreciate you. Yeah, I mean, listen, I thought, you know what I thought about, bro? I thought about, since they want to bring their little scholars out, their little scholars, these little fucking jokes, all these dudes are jokes. Listen, to the common person, these guys are brilliant. To the common person, the Andrew Tates and the Myron Gaines and the Charlie Kirks and the, who else we got? To the average person, these guys are brilliant. I thought about putting some money up, and I still want to do it. Put some money up and go get some of our scholars and let them sit down and debunk, not with none of these races. We don't got to sit with these races. We don't have to debate these races because they don't really want to debate real people anyway. They keep going to college campuses. But I thought about putting some bread up, getting some of our most powerful minds and getting them a podcast, getting them a platform, at least a special, to where they can address this shit, man. And that's why I'm saying, why is no black podcast addressing this shit? Niggas is out here talking about dumb shit. You dig? Yeah, I know y'all mad, bro. I know y'all mad. Listen. Y'all want people to say, stay stupid, stay stuck, and stay falling for the deception that you're trying to put out. I posted something the other day, and somebody came on my post, a friend of mine, he's white, one of my good brothers. He said, why are you always posting negative stuff? And I'm like, my bad, I thought we all hated white supremacy. You know, like, what do you mean negative? How is it negative that I'm informing people on how white supremacy works and to keep an eye out on these white supremacists? Because as you see, they're running down on people and they taking people out. And what I posted, what has happened in the past 24 hours is what I was posting about. It's about these ex-military people, right, running in and they on a mission. A lot of ex-military have been recruited to the Klan, to the base, to these white supremacist groups that a lot of y'all don't even know about. Y'all gotta start looking up this shit, man, because it's a very real thing. It's an extremely real thing. I'm talking about some of these hate groups, they have hate ceremonies where they're drinking goat's blood, they're sacrificing animals, they're making plans to assassinate people, and it's very real, bro. Do your own homework, man. Calamitous Gaming said, where's the proof? Do your own homework. And the thing is, you don't want proof. Y'all don't want proof. You dig? Y'all don't want proof. You want to live in your racist little bubble. Silent Rage says, bro, where you see this, bro? Hey, Silent Rage, I want you to go look this up. Go look this up, homie. Check this out. What's my man name? I watch him all the time. He's an ex-FBI agent. He was just on Vlad TV. Does anybody know his name? What's my man? I listen to him all the time. He went undercover. I'm trying to see if somebody knows the name. Scott, I think it's Scott something. Anyway, just do this. Shit. Why am I even doing this? If y'all want to find something, y'all know how to find it. Y'all know how to find it. Just go look up white supremacist groups. That's all you got to do. All this shit, the Proud Boys, the Boogaloo Boys, all that shit is white supremacist groups. Okay, some of them are a little more covert than others. Scott Brunswick, was it Scott Brunswick? FBI dude. Yeah, see, people, the racists are in the comments saying bullshit because they don't want this shit exposed. They don't want this stuff exposed. They don't talk about these things. It is like a unwritten rule. We don't talk about what we do wrong. Okay. Talk about the black people. Talk about the single mothers. Talk about Chicago. Whatever you do, don't talk about what we got going on. It's like an unwritten code. Google right now the base. Google the base. White extremist group. Google it. They're called accelerationists. Accelerationists, where they want to accelerate. They don't believe there's a political solution. They believe that it has to be a jihad, a holy war. This is real shit, man. Y'all know it. Y'all already know. Andrew, your mother. How about that? Anton Richardson said they can't stay off our platforms. Or yeah, dog. You see it, bro. They got a fetish, man. They love Black Daddy. That's what it is. That's all it is. They gotta come listen to Black Daddy. They like gluttons for punishment. They like getting those verbal lashings. They like seeing black people fight and kill. It's like a fetish for them. They get off to this shit, man. You dig? Scott Payne, Newport, my man. My man says, go. I want y'all to go look up Scott Payne. He got a bunch of interviews out. He's one of many FBI agents that went undercover and that have exposed, and he talks about these groups in depth. You understand? He talks about who's on the roster. You understand? This is a known fact, man. Like, Waylon Walden says, I'm a white man. Why are you calling me a white supremacist, sir? When did I say Waylon is a white supremacist? When did I say that? If it doesn't apply, let it fly. Jonathan said, black supremacy teaching right here. Black Panther Party, woo. There's no such thing as black supremacy, number one. And this is not a pro-black channel, okay? I don't consider myself pro-black. You understand? I consider myself pro-justice. I know, listen, all that you guys like to do is, insult because you're not intelligent. But anyway, so we had the two white supremacists that went on a killing spree yesterday. I told y'all when Charlie Kirk died, it is about to get worse. You're going to see more and more and more of this. You're going to see more mass shootings. You're going to see bombings, fires, all of this is what you're about to see. You're about to witness a lot of that. They are pushing for a civil war. They're pushing for a race war. That is what's going on right now. Just watch. Just sit back and watch, man. And if you're out there and you're pro-justice, you need to take the proper channels, make sure you train it, make sure you get your concealed carry license, you dig? And the thing is, these people, this is the thing, the racists, they already have their mind made up. They already have black fatigue. Okay. So this is what I believe. I believe you got a bunch of different sets of people. You got real racist people, right? You got some white folks that are drinking the Kool-Aid, right? You got black folks that are drinking the Kool-Aid, okay? You got black folks that are asleep. You got white folks that are asleep. But my thing is this, man. Everybody that's MAGA isn't racist, right? But what they're doing is they're siding with racism. You understand? I'm not a Democrat. The Democrats are just as racist as the Republicans. You understand? But what's going on is a lot of people on the right, they already want a race war. They've been waiting for a race war, dog. That's just what it is. And the MAGA hat, Charlie Kirk, these are symbols, right? These are symbols and tools to bring out more division. This is just what it is, man. You dig? Look at John Coates. John Coates says black fatigue is real. Why don't you explain to us what exactly black fatigue is? Because it sounds like some hoe shit. Y'all sound like little girls when y'all say that shit. I have I have black fatigue. I have black fatigue. Like, bruh, come on, man. Y'all sound like some bitches. You dig? Sad. Sad. Who raised y'all, man? Listen, I don't. I'm not that invested in the racist community to have fatigue. You dig? We been had fatigue. We done got over the fatigue. Getting pulled over and search fatigue. Getting followed around the store fatigue. That's nothing new, bro. Y'all, what are y'all fatigue for? All you do is you have fatigue from clicking on a post. That's why you have fatigue. All you gotta do is don't click on the post. Don't watch black people. Was it last night? Night before last, went to work in West Virginia, right? And I walked in the store, and it was like a white Muslim dude. I guess he was from Israel, Palestine. I don't know. I don't fucking know. But he was a white Muslim. He looked Jewish, I think. I walk in the store. He's sitting in the aisle by the juice. So I walk up. He's staring at me, dog. Look. Y'all ever walk in the store to go get a juice? I walk in to go get a juice. He clearly sees me and sees where I'm going. He says, "What can I help you with?" Motherfucker, I don't need your help. But he kept staring at me. I grabbed my juice. As I'm looking for what juice I want, he's just staring at me. Right behind me, like an inch away from me. I turn around, I just look him in his eyes, like get in his face, look him in his eyes. It was just a weird interaction. Like, you got fatigue? I got fatigue, dog. Come on, man. Oh, Freaky Fondue said that's what happens when you commit majority of the crime. These slow ass people are still using this fake ass punchline. Who commits more of the crime? I'm gonna say it again. You cannot measure who does the most crime, idiot. Man. Y'all slow as hell, man. Oh, okay, Cole, what it do? Shout out for the super chat, homie. He says, coming from a white guy, you Kirk lovers are hypocrites. God, Jesus didn't teach the hatred and divisiveness that Kirk did. God wouldn't have him. Hey, man, that's a great point. Listen, everybody's talking about how godly Charlie Kirk was. And this should show everybody who's about justice, not just black folks. This should show everybody who is about justice how big of hypocrites these racist people are. How big of how they move the goalpost. Charlie Kirk was not just this sweet, loving Christian. I know real Christians. I'm not a Christian, but I think we all, especially in the black community, we know real Christians, okay, that they don't say a bad word about nobody. They are about the word. They're about living for God. They're about the good news. They're not worried about what group is doing what. They're not doing that. We know real. See, the thing is, and I say it all the time, black people, and I'm just be real about this. Black people believe in the real Christianity. I don't know what the racist Caucasians believe in, because they used to hang us, right? They used to hang us right after church. They used to announce. Your ancestors, your forefathers used to announce the hanging. They used to announce the hanging in church. They be like, yeah, make sure you stay after church. We got some good catfish. We got a fish fry. Make sure you see Sister Clanigan for your books. And we're gonna have a hanging. We're gonna hang us a nigga tonight. Make sure you're there. This is what they did, bro, at their churches. This is what they did. I'm sorry, it is what it is. And I want to say this, man. The Christianity that you see, it's very weird Christianity. It's not really real. All right. I'm not a Christian, but I know real Christians. Don't say wow. Hey, Surrey said wow. I don't know if you're saying wow because yeah, go look it up. Go look this shit up, man. Gerald Johnson, I'm right there with you. I'm gonna say this though. I believe in the Most High. I believe nobody knows who put all this together. That's what I believe. I believe there is a creator. You know what I'm saying? But I don't believe that people know who the creator is. You know what I mean? And they definitely ain't no book. It's not trapped in a book. Exerla says he just tried to mock me. Said, you know, I know real Christians. That shit that Charlie Kirk was pushing, that shit that Donald Trump and at least Donald Trump kept it real. Look. At least Donald Trump kept it real. Look, Trump said, I don't love my opponents. I don't have no mercy for them, or however he said that. He said this at the funeral. He said, look, Erica Kirk, she forgives. She loves her opponents. I don't. I respect that. Keep it fucking real, man. You dig? Erica Kirk's speech was so phony. I called it out the minute I saw it. That speech was so phony. She said, that man, that boy, that she kept saying that boy, like, why are you emphasizing? Because Shawty was in on the play, man. She was in on that shit. And I know it's a sensitive topic for some of y'all. Cause y'all think that she's Mary Magdalene and Charlie Kirk was Jesus. I know that's like y'all's like idols and shit. You know what I'm saying? But it's phony baloney, man. It's phony baloney. Daniel Thompson, your mother. Kevin Crabtree, your mother. Abandoned random. That's wild. Tube U said, you are the one we hate. I know you do. I love it. That means I'm doing something right. Because y'all love them little raccoons. Y'all love the little dudes in blackface that want to be a part of what you got going on. They want your job. They want to have close proximity to white women. They want to be accepted in your communities and go to the games. And when they see you at the grocery store, they want you to say hi to them. Those are those type Negroes. I'm not one of them. I've never been one of them. You understand? Never been one of them. You hate a nigga like me because we're gonna keep it real. We're gonna tell the truth. We are going to expose the racism. You don't like that. And I understand why you don't like that. D-Day, shout out for the super chat. My man DJ said, honoring Kirk for being racist Confederate statues. Yeah, this is what it is, man. Listen, it is a desperate attempt to preserve racism and white supremacy. Okay, this is a desperate attempt. Okay, that's all this is, man. We're gonna take all the history out of the Smithsonian. We're gonna take all the paraphernalia and stuff about slavery. We're gonna put back up the Confederate statues. You dig? Because we can't have this narrative. Shout out to Isla Elijah Nedick. Appreciate the super chat, homie. Listen, they want to erase history and rewrite history because, number one, they're ashamed. Okay, they're ashamed of what their ancestors did. But number two, they have to try to erase it because in order to maintain the superior status, to be on top, they have to make it seem like they were right and that they did the noble thing and that they were the good guys. Okay? And the reality is, you know, nobody wants anybody to have any guilt. I don't expect white folks, my white friends, to have guilt of what happened. I don't expect that. But when I start talking about racism, don't fucking tell me to shut up. All right, don't tell me to be quiet or stop talking about. No, you need to sit back and listen and say, you know what? That was fucked up. What can we do? You know, you ain't gotta say that. But a lot of times, nobody wants to offer a solution. You want to talk about these cities where there's violence, but you don't want to offer solutions. You understand? Chrissy said, we cannot allow history to be taken away. We must put back up those statues and we must stand true to what the ignorant don't want to see and understand. Our history. We need to not be ignorant. Um, DH says we have to understand our dark past to be a better nation. Absolutely. Well, the thing is, man, they never made it right with foundational Black Americans. Okay, um, foundational Black Americans built this country. You understand? And we were never compensated. Our people were never compensated for it. As long as that debt is owed, America is going to hell in a handbasket. Do you understand that? This is what I believe with my full heart, man. Until they make this shit right with foundational Black Americans, the people that they enslaved, the people that built the wealth of this country, the people that physically built the country, until they make this shit right with us and stop treating us like we're second-class citizens, you're gonna see this civil war that's going on right now. You're gonna see these other countries laughing and plotting and scheming, okay, on that ass. That's what's going on right now. Richard said, if you built this country, then why does Africa look like Wakanda? I don't know, sir. I'm not African. I'm a foundational Black American. You dig? That's a weak ass talking point. When my family got here, there was no America, sir. You dig? You got that? When my family got here, there was no America. We had to build it. Yeah, your forefathers was like, nigga, build this shit. Whoosh. Go over there and pick the cotton. Whoosh. Clear that brush. Whoosh. Put them train tracks down. Whoosh. We built the shit. No matter how it got built, we built it. You dig? Ain't it funny though? How they had slaves. Some of us were brought over here. Some of us were already here. I'm talking about the indigenous Black people that were already on this land. Isn't it funny how they thought they was getting over? They was like, yeah, we're gonna have these Negroes build this country, and then 400 years later, they didn't think that. Well, shit. Now they get the credit of building the country. Now they get the bragging rights to say they built the country. Even Donald Trump said it. Your man Donald Trump said, Black Americans built the country. This is what he said. Don't be mad at me, okay? Don't be mad at me, TJ, Biff, Carl. Charles said, we are not Africans. We are just from there. No, we have African DNA. You have African DNA. Everybody has African DNA. As much as you want me to be an African, and that's fine. I have no problem because I know that's what you want. And that's the play. The play is to have us look at Africa. And I fell for it for some years. They want us to say, oh, that's our homeland, that's our motherland. No, America is our homeland. America is our land. You dig? That's a whole fact. That's a historical fact. No matter how y'all bitching and moaning and crying in the comments, the fact that we built this country is a historical fact. Okay? Stacy Wright, shout out to you. Mikey B, I appreciate that super chat, homie. I know it's all this fake laughing, all the fake laughing emojis, but you're really hurt. But listen, and when you go do your homework and it really sets in that we really did build this shit, it's really gonna hurt. You're really gonna have a fake laugh. You're really gonna put your little emojis up because all you trying to do is cope. You know what I'm saying? And that's the problem. See, this is the problem right here. This is how y'all look at us. When I say that we built the country, should no white person say, no, you didn't, or no white person should laugh. Y'all should be like, you know what, my black brother? Y'all sure the hell did. That's how we know y'all racist. And y'all keep trying to tell us it's us, but in fact, it's you. Because if you're being honest and not being deceptive, you would say, you know what, sir? You know what, my man? You guys did build the country. And we appreciate you. Okay? Thank you. Okay? This is what y'all will be saying. And you're our brother. And let's build America together. There's never been none of that. And I'm not asking for that. I'm not looking for that. You dig? I don't want to be your brother, Andrew. I'm just saying this is what non-racist people would say. Okay, and all I'm saying is I don't care if you're racist. All I'm saying is, at the least you can do is not act like it's us. At the least you can do is just say I'm a racist. I don't give a fuck. It is what it is. That's the least you can do. Nick Stidham said we built it together. I'll give you that. I kinda sorta, kinda sorta, kinda sorta. Wildin', shout out to you, homie. Y'all hit the like button for me, man. Joanne Marquez says y'all live off healthcare and food ramps. Joanne Marquez, are you a Latino fella or a Latino woman? I know my black and brown coalition is now they here talking crazy about us living off food stamps. Man, listen, don't be mad at me, cause ICE is chasing you and your people around the goddamn city. Don't be mad at me because you gotta goddamn peek out of windows before you leave the house. I don't have to do that. Why? Because my family built this motherfucker. You dig? You understand, Joanne? Where you at? Marquez? Oh, Joanne said I'm American Cuban descent. No, 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 no. Your family fled. Okay, they fled Cuba, and they came over to here. And thanks to foundational Black Americans, you're allowed to come over here. Now show some fucking respect and say thank you. Okay? We made it possible. My ancestors made it possible for you to come over here and get some of these benefits. You dig? D-Day said, white supremacy is a demonic spirit fueled by deceit and greed. Absolutely. And it's imploding right now in front of our very eyes. This shit is imploding in front of our very eyes. This Democrat-Republican beef, this shit is heating up by the day, man. You dig? Rashida said, yeah, America is our land, and we black people are a new people, and we're gonna set it right with justice. It just may take 40, 400, 1,000 years to flush out all the crap. Elijah, I appreciate you, homie. Shout out for the super chat. George Gower said, watch your back. Oh, you're mad. Oh, you're mad. Oh, he's mad. He's really mad. Mikey B, shout out to you, homie. The spirit world said, this land was already built by us melanated people of America before any immigrant came here, period. Shout out to you, the spirit world. Oh yeah, I want to say this. Rest in peace to Assata Shakur. Who all is familiar with Assata Shakur? That was Tupac's godmother / aunt. Big shout out to her. Elijah, my man, blessing, homie, blessings. Appreciate you, man. That's good looking. Rest in peace to Assata Shakur. And rest in peace to the Cubans that allowed her to come over here. See, let me tell y'all something. Even the people of Cuba, they knew how deceitful the American government was. That's why they took her in. They said, you can come on over here because we know how fucking dirty they are. She allegedly unalived a state trooper and she died free. Shout out to her. Shout out to her. Yeah, shout out to Assata Shakur. A lot of people are mad. What's the Indian dude? He just made a statement about her, the head of the FBI. What's the boy's name? The funny looking dude. He just made a statement about her. Very upset. Very upset. BN Booby said, yo, Brody, can you make a how-to PE tutorial up? Oh, yeah, shit, man. Hey, man, I was been supposed to get back to that. I got to do that. I definitely got to do that. Yeah, BN Booby, I think it's called. I don't know. Sharon Haywood said, George, you need to watch your back. Yeah, they mad. They so upset, bro. Like, George, you ain't gonna do shit, bro. Like, come on, man. All these guys do is come on the internet and talk about how much black fatigue they have and how people need to watch their back. But the thing is, y'all only pulling up to soft targets. You're only pulling up to churches. You're only pulling up to people who are not expecting you. You understand? You're not pulling up to anybody that moves militant. That's how weak you are. And I'm gonna talk my shit. You dig? Elijah, I appreciate you. Said new sub here, 55-year-old white immigrant. I appreciate your words. Keep telling the truth. I got your back, brother. They sound scared. They're extremely scared, man, and they have good reason. Um, they have very good reason. You know, they see their own internal system is malfunctioning, and it's looking bad, man. It's looking really bad. You dig? DLS says, who is they? The racists, the white supremacists. That's who they is. If that's not you, don't worry about it. You should be on my team, right? Anybody that is not racist or white supremacist, they should be on my side. They should be agreeing with me. If what I say irks a nerve, right? If what I post on my social media irks your nerves, then that should tell you all you need to know. You dig? Testosterone said they is in this chat. Do you see? I mean, yeah. Come on, man. Like, they show up here every day. Every day my chat is full of racists. Every day. Tube U said, no, we are on the side of Jesus and you don't like, oh God. See, that's another play. This is what they telling y'all. And this is how elementary minded these racists are. They'll say shit like, you're not on the side of Jesus. You don't like Jesus. Bro, look here. This is a play. This is out of a playbook from the 1600s. Let's use religion to conquer. Let's use religion to demonize. Let's use religion to subjugate. It's not gonna work this time, my man. It's not gonna work this time. You can't pull that on me, man. You dig? This is America. Everybody's entitled to have religious freedom. Okay? Double X the Bling King. What it do, homie? Don Davis said, stop saying Jesus, you folks killed him. Dino said, what makes someone racist? Just because they white and disagree don't make them. Oh, that's a great question. Can I answer the question, Dino? Can I answer the question? What makes somebody racist is not because they don't like black people. Okay? You can hang out with black folks. You can be in a relationship with black folks. That doesn't mean you're racist. You can sit with like Charlie Kirk and hang out with Candace Owens and say you have a black friend. That's not the total definition of racism. Racism is about denying white supremacy. Racism is about victim shaming. Racism is about trying to keep people quiet and deflect into, hey, look at the black community. Look at what they're doing. Okay, these are different forms of racism. It's not like it was back in 1960. You dig? Now they say they have black fatigue. They use nice, pretty words. Instead of just saying the N-word, they'll say, I got black fatigue. You dig? A lot of people are confused. A lot of people are confused about this. Dino Two Gun says, bro, you can't be serious. Yeah, I'm very serious, man. Surrey Bim Bomb said, you want two things, FBAs to agree with everything you say and white racist dialogue. You deny Canadian Nova Scotians being your people. Surrey Bomb, are you referring to Drake being FBA? Are you referring to Drake not being FBA? Hey, these people don't want to study. How you doing, brother? Good. Yeah, you can throw it in the yes, sir. Um, People don't want to study. People don't want to do the research. People don't want to do comparative analysis. People just want to listen to his story. They don't want to listen. They don't want to learn history. They rather have it microwaved to them like Charlie Kirk. See, the reason why they love Charlie Kirk is they don't have to do too much research. Charlie Kirk was packaged as a nice family man, a nice man who loved Jesus. Okay, he sat on these campuses and talked to kids as if that was some grand thing to do, and it was just so profound. Okay, so this is the thing. People don't really want to go and hear the things that they don't want to hear. Okay, I have plenty of videos holding my people accountable. I just did a video 2 weeks ago about the nightlife in the black community. Why? Because I'm in it. Why? Because I'm of it. Charlie Kirk can't do these things. These other podcasters can't do these things because we know you don't care about these issues. You're doing it to demonize black people. And when I made my videos, I put an address on it, and I said specifically certain parts of the black community. That's why Charlie got no respect from us, because he would say black people need to stop sleeping around. You dig? That's the difference. Tube U said, we hate you. I know, and I love it. I love it. Listen, the hate is what made me who I am today. You know that? The hatred, like Tupac said, the hate you gave little babies F's is all. Little infants F's is all. Some of us gonna sink, some of us gonna swim. You understand? I believe racism is a disease. I believe that racism has affected black people to the point to where it has drove some of us crazy. This is what I believe. I don't care who believes it. You dig? I'm talking about growing up in a system, in a world where you are not valued, where you seen your father and your uncles and your mother and other black people not get valued. It will make you crazy. So you grew up in a country where they put crack cocaine in these neighborhoods. You are liable to go crazy in this shit. And then they'll turn around and tell you, no, we didn't. We didn't do anything. Why can't you get yourself together? It's been 100 years. You can't. This is what they do. It's narcissist behavior. You dig? It's like growing up with a narcissist parent. They never admit they're wrong. Okay? Never admit they're wrong. SCT Carter said, Charlie Kirk is honestly a disgrace to Christianity. And I mean that. And shout out to you for being honest. Again, I'm not of any faith, but I can even see that what he's practicing, what these people at the memorial are supposed to be practicing, that is not Christianity, y'all. That's not what it is. What it is they're on code. Right now, all the races are on code. They're saying, we're going to bring back Christianity. This is going to be the new Renaissance. We're going to bring back these values. These are the words that they're using. Christian values. It's all code word, okay? It's code word for we're about to turn up the racism. Okay. Come on, man. That's all this is, man. That's all this is. Content Sensei said, they said he's this generation's MLK. Man, let me tell you something, man. They trying to trash Martin Luther King. And that's why people like Charlie get no respect, because you cannot denigrate Dr. Martin Luther King and get away with it. You dig? Charlie paid a consequence. Charlie didn't die without consequence. You understand? Charlie died with a stain on his legacy, all because he wanted to run his fucking mouth about our beloved leader, Dr. Martin Luther King. This is the price he paid. It was so embarrassing for the racists, the way he went out. It was so embarrassing. That's why they shooting shit up right now. That's why they angry right now. That's why Trump is pissed right now. That's why all this stuff is going on right now, because he died an embarrassing death. Yeah, you're not gonna denigrate Dr. MLK, man. You're just not gonna do it. I don't care. Okay, if that, let me say this. Let's do this. Because the new narrative is MLK was a freak. MLK did this, he did that. Okay, so what? What if he did? Number one, that's not a fact. But I like to do hypotheticals just to, for the sake of not arguing. Let's just say MLK was having orgies. Let's say that. Let's say he did. So what? Does that take away the "I Have a Dream" speech? Does that take away the way he galvanized, the way he walked and marched these streets and fought for black people? Hell no. You dig? Look at Trump, dog. Like y'all love Trump. I don't have a problem with Trump, but y'all worship Trump. Trump is a felon. 32 felonies. Potentially on the Epstein file. And the thing is, if he wasn't on the Epstein file, he hang out with people that was on Epstein Island. You dig? At least MLK, it ain't no rumor swirling about him being at Epstein Islands. You dig? Come on, man. Dr. RG said, question, do you think we still need black people in America today? If so, what's the benefit? Oh, that's a great question. That is a great question. DRG, stay right there, bro. Do we need black people? Let me tell you something, and I say this all the time. If it wasn't for foundational black Americans, these countries like Russia, North Korea, they'd have been bombed y'all ass. They would have wiped this whole shit out if it wasn't for us still being here. You dig? I need you to understand that. We are the moral currency of America. Y'all don't have to acknowledge that. The rest of the world acknowledges that. The rest of the world got its civil rights movement from us. We taught the world how to fight for civil rights. If it wasn't for foundational black Americans, they'd have been wiped this motherfucker out. They know we're here though. You dig? Elena Granger said, racism being so blatant is fucked up. How can you say that dumbass shit to this educated brother? Nah, let him speak, man. Let him speak. Look, the comments, these people are the fruit of Charlie Kirk. I love the fact that they're here. I love that they're telling us who they are, because by telling us who they are telling us who Charlie Kirk was. You dig? George Henson said, much love and respect to you, my brother. Your words are strong and powerful and real. The truth is, was, and evermore shall be. Shout out to you, George Henson. I appreciate you, my brother. Good Times TV said, you think people don't want to be around black people because of the skin color? No. Let me tell you. Listen, this whole black fatigue thing. This is more than just about skin color. This is so deep, right? It's an internal thing. All right. Now, the thing about America is you have a place, right, that was created. It was supposed to be created for just white people. Okay? This is a fact. This shit was only supposed to be for white people. I don't know what they thought they was going to do with us. You dig? After slavery was over, I don't think they thought that far. These stupid motherfuckers, these stupid ass forefathers, like, we're gonna get these slaves to build this country and then take it from there. You know what I'm saying? They ain't even thinking through what they was gonna do when they let us out of slavery. Next thing you know, we're let out of slavery and we're here and we're existing and we're thriving and we're keeping it pushing. We're becoming great. We got the Michael Jacksons, the Magic Johnsons, the Michael Jordans. We got the Tyler Perrys, you name it. We got from sports to civil rights. We got the Dr. Martin Luther Kings. We got we got great people. So we ended up being great people. Now it's like some, and I'm not saying all, some white folks can't stand that shit. The racist white folks cannot stand the fact that we're here that we exist. So all this, listen, black fatigue, y'all had black fatigue since you were born. Y'all had black fatigue. We've always been the focal point of your issue. Every century, even when we were on our best behavior, we've always been a thorn in your ass. Okay. All right. Always. So this shit is nothing new. Tube U said, we can't stand you who call everyone racist. Just shut up and work. See, that's what I'm saying. He sounds like a slave master. Just shut up and work. What the hell does that mean? You go to work, bro. How about that? You go to work. I work when I feel like it because I'm a business owner. I set my hours. You understand? You go clock in. And shout out to everybody that got clock in, man. Commander Alpha Turkey said, spread love, not hate. Salute to the real one. Salute to you, homie. Gerald Johnson says, Condoleezza Rice, Malcolm X, Martin Luther King, Barack Obama. I don't really count Obama, but anyway. Black people invented the internet. Black woman invented the internet. Black man invented the heart surgery. Let me tell you, I still plan on doing a whole episode on what we've invented. I saw this clip of a little Caucasian dude out in Miami. He was out there asking black women, name some black inventions. And the fact that he doesn't know how many inventions that we have, it let me know that a lot of these people running around acting like we're inferior, they just don't have a clue. They're just not educated. They have no idea of how many inventions that we have and how much we bring to the table. Because they're told that we weren't shit. They've been told all their life that we aren't shit. They did it all. They do it all. Like Stephen Miller's speech. He said, we build, they don't build. We're the dark. We're the light, they're the dark. All these fables, myths, and fairy tales that we're just bad people and we just haven't built anything. It's all bullshit. Tube U said, you're not shit when you cry about racism. Chrissy said, I do a ton of history and a ton of black people who have done inventions back to the 1600s. Amazing. Shout out to you, Chrissy. And I'm glad you know that. But I'm just saying, a lot of the people, and especially a lot of people with microphones, these so-called podcasters are not educated, man. And the ones that are, but refuse to acknowledge the truth, they're very deceptive. You dig? But listen, man, Marco, shout out to you, homie. I Am West 10 said, truth be told, we damn near invented and discovered just about everything. We did a lot, bro. We brought a lot to this table. We still bring a lot to this table. And I believe that people know that we're starting to acknowledge this, and they have to combat it with these fake narratives that we're tearing up the country. I think people are really starting to notice that we are really starting to embrace our American heritage. We're really starting to embrace all of our accomplishments on this land. See, before we used to look back to Africa. You dig? We used to go back to Egypt. Well, we built civilization, blah, 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 blah. We did this. That was before. Now, recently, the past 4 years, we started to really look here at home and say, you know what, man? We made America what it is today. We made America what it is today. You dig? Without us, this shit would not be what it is today. You dig? Tube U said, did you donate to him? Donate to who? Donate to who? Elijah said, to the white folks, as a white male, the number of white scared folks in these comments is proof that Kirk spread his fear far and wide. He lived and spread fear. He died in fear. Y'all are scared, bruh. There it is. Janice said, we made America great. FBA. Yes, we did, Janice. Shout out to you, sweetheart. Yes, we did. You cannot deny that fact, bro. We have brought so much sauce, so much flavor to this shit, man. Come on, man. E-Max says, Charlie got everything he deserved. Tube, you said he spread the family love in Jesus. Bro, don't you, Tube, you. I mean, just on some real shit, right? Just man to man, like, you really bought that shit, bro? Like, you really bought his little shtick, his little presentation. You really bought that shit. You don't understand. Look, I am in the entertainment industry. I know entertainment when I see it. I know people who have handlers. I know people who have a production team. That guy had a production team. He had handlers. He had talking points given to him. This is all scripted, dog. You really bought that shit? They were gearing him up to be the next president. They were gearing him up to be the next sensation. That's all this was. They took him out of high school when he was 17, gave him $4 million. Who all knows that? Who knows that? To be a speaker. Who knows? Who knows? They took Charlie Kirk out of high school at 17 years old. They gave him $4 million to do what he's doing. Tube U said he can't ask questions he can ask questions to who he wants, but if you want respect from intelligent people, you sit with scholars. That's like me going to my son's elementary school. This is the equivalent of me going to no. This is the equivalent of me going to my son's elementary school. Get a camera crew, sit up on my podium, and start asking him and his classmates questions and having a debate with his classmates. And y'all really ate that shit up. He should have sat with real people. I would have had loved to see him sit with Minister Farrakhan. I'm not gonna hold you. Y'all know I done many videos on Umar. Charlie Kirk wouldn't have got past Dr. Umar Johnson. He wouldn't have got past Dr. Umar Johnson. Umar Johnson would have spanked Charlie Kirk. Come on. You feel me? Umar would have mopped the floor with Charlie Kirk. And y'all thought this dude was brilliant? Yeah, Umar got his shit with him. Listen. See, we give credit where it's due around here. Umar got his shit with him. Umar did something with their school. Umar been taking donations. But Umar would have intellectually mopped the floor with Charlie Kirk. Yeah, I'm clueless. I know. Blake Love, this dude is sus. I know. I'm gonna be a lot of things when I'm in here intellectually spanking y'all asses. I'm gonna be a lot of things. Dino said Umar's a scammer. Cool. No problem. Let's say he's a scammer. I got plenty of videos on Umar. Go check my videos on Umar out. That's not the point. See, y'all can't see past your goddamn nose. We give credit where it's due over here. Umar's business practices are terrible. They suck. But Umar's brain and knowledge, his knowledge would have smoked Charlie. And this trap house says they see black, they freak out. Good Times TV said he's not here right now. He's dead when he was alive. How come you didn't try to reach out to debate him? Who, me? Reach out to debate Charlie Kirk? For what? What would I reach out to debate Charlie Kirk for? I'm not that important. But he knows. See, listen, Charlie knows. He's heard of Umar. And I bet you he stayed far, far away from that brother. Okay? He's heard of a Rizza Islam. I don't necessarily follow Reza Islam, but Reza would have spanked Charlie Kirk. Dr. James Smalls would have spanked Charlie Kirk. Do you understand? Like, come on, man. Chrissy said, let's not speak ill of the dead. It's truly disgusting. Chrissy, why can't I do what Charlie Kirk did? This is a serious question. You said don't speak ill of the dead. Charlie Kirk called the dead scumbags. He ran them through the mud even though they still have family out here. Why is it that he can do it, but I can't do it? Please tell me, answer that question. Willie Harvey said a broke clock is still right twice a day. Yup. Where you at, sweetheart? I need you to answer the question. DRG said the problem with the black community is simple. You guys let the blind lead the blind. Listen, man, you don't know the problem with the black community. You're not of the black community. It's not your place to tell us what our problem is. This is what the issue is now. You need to tell us why your community is unaliving people at a very high rate. Why are they unaliving police officers? Why are these people running to running their cars into churches, going into Catholic schools for toddlers? What about y'all? Don Davis said, keep the same energy. You folks mock dead black people all the time. Absolutely. Loki Castro said, ignorance. What did Charlie say that was so wrong and respect? Okay, Loki. I'm so sick of that question because there's plenty of things that man has said. He said plenty of things. I like to give one example. And then when I give this example, all y'all gonna say is, well, prove it. Or where is it at? You're not gonna go look for it. You're not gonna be fair and do your own research. Charlie Kirk said that Trayvon Martin hunted George Zimmerman. That's one. I'll give you two. Charlie Kirk denigrated Dr. Martin Luther King, said he was an awful man. Once you insult somebody's leader and defame somebody's leader, somebody's leader who is looked at in a high regard, he knows what MLK means to the black community. Why would he denigrate MLK? Why didn't he call out Donald Trump? If MLK was a horrible man, what the fuck does that make Donald Trump? What does that make Donald Trump? Why wouldn't he call out Donald Trump? Blake Love, what lie did I say? Tell me one lie I said. Charlie Kirk said that, I did a whole video on it. He said that Trayvon Martin hunted George Zimmerman at 2 in the morning. Trayvon Martin was unalived at 7 p.m. Giovanni Flores says MLK was an agent. There is no proof that MLK was an agent. We already heard that people call him a communist and he did. Come on, man. Like, there is no proof for any of that. That's all a rumor. That's all it is. Good Times TV said MLK was a good person. That was a good person. His message was right. Yeah, so why would such a good man talk bad about a good man like that? Man like Bango said, why are we still talking about that dude? He was nothing more than a puppet for white supremacy. The reason why I'm talking, I'm gonna just be honest with you, bro. We're gonna have to bring his name up a lot for a while because they're trying to make him a martyr, what they already have. And they're going to use him to usher in a lot more policy, a lot, and not only that, there are about 100,000 new Charlie Kirks popping up every day. So therefore, we're gonna have to go back to the head of the snake, right? And debunk him at every chance we get. Because all of these people, you just seen the ones when I went to the college trying to have a debate. All of these people are running around talking Charlie Kirk talking points. We're gonna have to continue to talk about this man, unfortunately. E. Max said Charlie Kirk versus Farrakhan. Yeah, that's what I said earlier. You dig? Farrakhan would have spanked Charlie Kirk, man. You know what I'm saying? Easy work. Easy work. El Jefe said Charlie Kirk would destroy Farrakhan. No, the fuck he would. Not with the way he was talking, bro. Listen. Charlie Kirk couldn't get past Bill Maher. Bill Maher pulled his card. Come on, man. El Jefe said, "Oh, that's the first Nash of mine you read. You missed the others. I must have missed the others, homie. Like, come on, man. It's a lot. It's a nice amount of comments in here." E Max said Charlie Kirk was spewing insanity. Dino said Bill Maher didn't do shit. Okay, all right, yeah. All right. Pete said the black community, please go back to Africa for us. Pete, where's your family from? Where did your family immigrate to my homeland? Because you immigrated to my homeland. Where did your family come from? They came through Ellis Island, dog. Come on now. Don't tell us to go back to Africa. I'm a foundational black American, man. You dig? Swagger like us says no fathers. Swagger like us. I know you're not a Caucasian man. I know you're not a Caucasian man. See, this is what I mean, right? Running around with names like Swagger like us. What would this joint look like without us, man? What would this joint look like without us? Dino Two Guns, I got you in your feelings, didn't I? The truth just hurt your ass, didn't it? Where'd your family come from, Dino? Where'd they immigrate from? Listen, foundational black Americans are the only non-immigrants. We're the only non-immigrants. You understand? Germany. We got a good Moorish brother in here. He says, what does it mean in the international law to be black people? Oh shit, we not ain't doing that, my brother. Salute to you, but we not doing the little fucking word games and shit. Nobody got time for that shit, bro. You dig? Like that shit ain't listen. When the Moorish Science Temple, and much respect to the Moorish Science Temple and all my Moorish brothers, but when y'all get something popping, then I'll start talking about what does black mean. It's just a time waste. It's just time wasting. The system looks at us as black. You dig? It's like a marker. We're gonna just say black. Like I'm a foundational black American. Whatever. Like I'm a freedman. I'm a freedman. DRG said indigenous people don't want you here neither, buddy. Sir, we are the indigenous people. Fucking idiot. DRG, you can't be that stupid. Listen, my mother is Nanny Coke Indian. Nanny Coke Indian. This is verified. I went to powwows when I was a kid. We can go to a museum right now in Delaware where I can show you my family members. You dig? Yeah, laugh it off, homie. Just find out what we already know. Renee said we are the indigenous people. Yeah, we are the indigenous people. Yes, we are. Noah, shout out to you, man. Veins Rod said, this the truth right here. Yeah, this the goddamn truth. See, this the thing. Again, they are so used to his story, not history. You dig? They're not used to history, real scientific history. You dig? Sarah Elizabeth says, stop separating us. We're humans with no genetic differences other than our melanin. Stop finding differences and start. No, Sarah, you're in the wrong chat. Go tell the goddamn people that's goddamn telling us they got black fatigue. Go talk to them. Don't come in here talking about I'm separating anything. Listen, just because you all learned something today doesn't mean I'm wrong. Okay, just because I introduced some new facts to you, you're late to the party. I want you to ask your black friends, since y'all say y'all got black friends, I want y'all to go ask y'all black friends something. This is a homework assignment. Do this. I implore you to do this. Go ask your black friends, has their family ever talked to them about Africa? Or has their family ever told them they were from a Native American tribe? If you don't listen to nothing else that I say on this chat today, I would love for you to go do that. Ask any of your black friends. I'm not talking about your immigrant black friends. Shout out to my immigrants. I'm not talking about the niggas that came straight from Africa, second, first generation. I'm not talking about the Jamaicans or Caribbean. Shout out to them too. I'm talking about the non-immigrants, the foundation of this country, the foundational black Americans. Go ask them, has their family ever talked to them about their African ancestry or their Native American ancestry? BD Bay said you're a Moor, whether you like it or not. You're involved, whether you participate. All right, I'm a Moor, bro. I'm a Moor. I don't even want to have the argument. See, now what? Okay, I'm a Moor. When I walk down the street, and if the police want to pull me over, they're not calling me Moor. Okay, they're addressing me and they're approaching me as a black man. So I feel you. Hopefully one day we can get this thing together to where that can make some sense and come to fruition. But me saying I'm Moor, that just changed nothing. Okay? That changed nothing. Dre said, all I know is the conquerors will never let the conquered rule without a fight. Of course. DRG said, you guys were Egyptians too. Laughing my ass off the road. That's exactly what white people say, like Elizabeth Warren. Brent, name one black founding member of, bro, we can name hundreds of black founding members of America. Fuck that. Listen, who Queen Califia. Here we go. Queen Califia. Go Google it. Queen Califia. Go Google it. Brent, you thought you had something there, didn't you? I want everybody to go Google Queen Califia. That's who California was named after. Who founded Chicago? A black man. Who founded Chicago? A black man. Patrick says, start by being a father to your children. Master that, then we can talk. Okay, well, let me ask you. Did Tyler's father do a great job? Because he killed Charlie Kirk. What's his excuse? What's his explanation? Yeah, Brent, a fictional. Okay, so why would they? You're right. You're absolutely right. They named California after Queen Califia. Queen Califia. Why would they do that? Patrick said Tyler's dad did a great job. Where's the guy go talking about the single fathers? Good Time CV said, tell you something, if I need a lawyer or a doctor, I'm not going to no black man for that. I'd rather have a Jewish man for something like that. Good Time CV, have you ever heard of a man named Ben Carson? See, y'all so fucking stupid and ignorant and hateful. You're so hateful that the man with the gifted hands is a black man. The first person to separate Siamese twins. Come on, man. Come on, dog. See, Will, I heard you, and I know I'm not wrong. You're telling me California is not named after Queen Califia? Is that what you're telling me? Yeah. He said if he wanted a doctor, he wouldn't go to a black man. But who was in Trump's cabinet? Who's on his team? Ben Carson. All y'all hold Ben Carson in high regard, except for his ability. Y'all just like him for being a raccoon. Swagger like us says Olmecs. Yeah, look. Listen. They know the real deal. Good Time TV said just effing with you, but the majority of black people are not. But see, yeah, now you just playing, right? Now you just playing. Okay, I know. Yeah, Ben Carson, thank you. Uh, uh, yes. Hey, Lila, everybody keeps saying that Queen Khalifa is not a real person, but what I'm saying to you, because I know it went over y'all's head, and I know you need things explained to you in depth. Okay, why would they name? Why would white people name? Why would white people name a whole goddamn state after a black woman, a mythological black woman? Why would they do that? Why would they do that? Hello? Okay, all right. See, Will say because they're not all racist. All right. Dre said to be great in this country, we have to be like the people who rule it. That's just how it is. If we got our own country, I'm sure it'd be the same. I'm not. No, 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 no. Let me, hey Dre, let me school you real quick, bro, because that's not true. See, foundational Black Americans, we never got off on having power over people. We never tried to subjugate people. We never tried to have people beneath us. We are the real patriots. We really believe in justice and liberty for all. You understand? So I don't believe that we would be practicing racism if we were in power. We're really, really about it. You understand? Everything that these racists say that they about, we're about. You understand? We've never been degenerate, deceptive people who had to hang people from trees, who had to deny people justice. In fact, we fought for justice for everybody. You dig? But look, big shout out to everybody, man. I gotta go get back to work. I'm gonna be back. I might come back tomorrow. Uh, I'm sure it'll be some crazy white supremacists that'll do another mass shooting, and we can come in here and chop it up about that. Uh, but I will have more topics this week. Big shout out for the super chats, man. I appreciate y'all. If you want to get a better look, in-depth look on how I think, go check out the lives on my page. I give credit where it's due. I hold my people accountable. I hold everybody accountable. You dig? So big shout out to everybody, man. Peace. I'm out of here.